Hey everybody, Hostrone here with another First Edition Friday video for you. I've looked back through the archives of videos that I have done since I started doing videos for this channel, and I realized that I have not at any point done a Romulan deck for TNG. At no point have I ever done a TNG Romulan deck, which is not surprising. I don't particularly enjoy playing Romulan decks, like hardly at all. I don't really play them hardly ever. So this is not surprising to me in any way. So we're going to go ahead and do one. So I put together a TNG Romulan deck with my standard flair, where we're not going to just do the thing straightforward. We're gonna like roll in some tricks. So these are the tricks that I came up with. So let's start with talking about the missions. So the missions are this. We got covert installation. We've got the 3 neutral zone planets that Romulans can do that are 35 points. We're doubling up on patrol neutral zone. And then we're going outside the neutral zone for vanquish enemy. 2 leadership, treachery or honor, cunning greater than 50, once per game, may double flip on an opponent's ship here, and it is on both sides. So when we move our ship to there, if an opponent has a battle bridge, they can flip onto our ship. If the opponent tries to come over and steal this mission, it's the same thing. They would fly there, we would double flip. That creates an element of unpredictability, which makes it hard for an opponent to really want to steal this. And then there's the fact that since we're playing in the neutral zone, the reality of the situation is that an opponent's going to either be off quadrant, or if they're in the alpha quadrant, they're going to be on one side of us. And when vanquish enemy would come out, football flipping missions, we would just put it on the opposite side, and our neutral zone missions create a barrier, which will make it very difficult for an opponent to be able to get to it, to even think about stealing it. Because of that, I don't really foresee many opponents putting like a lax combo underneath it, something that they could try to push their way through and steal. Because if they do that and we act, and they're taking a huge risk that we don't just decide to, like, the neutral zones are a bait, and then the vanquished enemies are a real goal, right? If you're an opponent, you have to consider that. We are playing with a battle bridge door so that we can get our own copy of Make It So. That gives us better capabilities for boosting our ships for battle, getting ready room door so that we can download matching commanders to whatever ships we get. But our big trick is that since patrol neutral zone is a universal mission and we're playing with 2 of them, we can simply take a guess as to which one we think is going to have the dead end underneath it, most likely. Because if you're an opponent, you kind of have to think that, like, the 2 patrol neutral zones, the opponent's gonna, if you gotta basically like dead end one of them, more than likely, because if you dead end any of the planets, it doesn't matter, because they'll just do a different planet very easily, and then, or that opens it up to them doing the patrol neutral zone first, getting the 50 points, and then your planet combo is kind of boinked. So you kind of, if you have dead end, you kind of have to just put it at a patrol neutral zone. We're okay with that. That's what we want to find. Because what we're trying to do is we're going to do one of the planet missions for 35, and then our fun little trick in this deck is we are seeding an Empok Nor at whichever patrol neutral zone we think intuitively or instinctively, or is just a guess, has the dead end under it. We seed the Empok Nor at that universal mission. We can commandeer Empok Nor turn 1 if the opponent doesn't put anything there. We download a bunch, our suite of equipment cards, just 5 of them this time. And then we can use science personnel and the science lab to look at the bottom seed card of Patrol Neutral Zone so that we can see what it is. We hope that we see a dead end. That's like the gangbusters, or something that implies that it's a dead end, like, say, we flip Edo probe. Like, oh, awesome, we will actually just go ahead and attempt the mission and then bail out. And then now the second dilemma is visible for us to see with the science lab as well, right? But the other kind of thing is that we are going to do a 35-point planet mission first. We're going to score 5 from our It's Always a Chess Game. Once per game, score 5 points when your TNG Romulan personnel helps solve a non-universal neutral zone mission. So we score the 5 points there, and then we are doing the neutral zone download of Test for Weakness. Test for Weakness. Once per game, you download Earth Outpost here under opponent's control. Doubles weapons and blah, 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 blah. When an opposing outpost is destroyed here, you score points, we score 10. So what we're hoping to do is 35 from the mission, we get 10 from Test for Weakness, we get 5 from Always a Chess Game, and then hopefully then, I mean, this is just ideal, the opponent has put dead end underneath the Patrol Neutral Zone, and then we can just blow right through that. That's at least one dilemma that we've beaten. If it is like some kind of Edo probe into dead end combo, like Edo probe, we would see it, so we would know that we would attempt, bail out, go solve the planet mission. Now we see what the next dilemma is with Science Lab, and we can hopefully push our way through, right? How quickly or how easily can we blow up that Earth outpost? That Earth outpost comes from outside the game, I believe. No, I think you do have to have it in the deck. Well, we don't have it. We don't have it in the deck. We've just it's coming from outside the game here in the list, but it basically is just in the draw deck somewhere. We have a 50 card one, and we download it on the opening turn. So I just put it here just because it's the easiest for me to find it. But anywho, so the Earth Outpost has shields of 16, so you got to come up with. You have to come up with weapons of 17 in order to smash it. In order to smash it, that means like we would probably need 2 ships to do that, right? Well, the thing is we're going to download it to where the Empok Nor is. The Empok Nor, once it's commandeered, has 6 weapons. And then, even if all we do is get a universal ship, the Dederitics, then we have 9 weapons, plus the 6 from Empok Nor. All we have to do is have a leader or officer personnel in ops to fire weapons. So we have 9 plus 6 is 15, and then we're drawing 3 tactics, and there is no possibility for us not to have a tactic that gets us at least the 2 weapons to get us to 17. And we're able to do that on turn 1. We either play a ship or download the Dederitics. We are able then to staff it, because we'll have 2 staffing icons. We're undoubtedly going to have someone who plays for free. Then we just hope that and then of course we defend Homeworld to get what's his name? Tilak, right? So we basically have an extremely high probability that we're going to have 2 officers or 2 leaders, one that's on board the ship, one that goes into ops, and then literally on turn 1 we can commandeer Empok Nor and then shoot the Earth Outpost. So we shoot the Earth outpost on turn 1, and then we can shoot it again on turn 2, so we have those 10 points that quickly, and then it's turn 3 that we built up a group that we want to attempt our planet mission with, and then we continue the theme of seeing the early dilemmas so that we have an idea of what we need to be prepared for. We have preparation. Plays on your unexamined mission if you control people with 4 different classifications there. Examine the bottom seed card. Generally speaking, planet missions like the good, like, you know, we hope to actually draw like a good planet combo, because good planet combos tend to be predictable. And so once we see that first dilemma there, we then kind of know what's up. Since we're playing neutral zone Romulan, our opponents are probably our opponents are probably not thinking about the fact that we might be able to see what that first dilemma is at those missions, and so are probably not overly concerned about mixing up combos and stuff to try to be unpredictable. They just want their combos to hit and hit efficiently. We have a couple of other little fun tricks in the deck that are not all that big of a deal, but they are there. We have a copy of Clone Machine, because we're playing with multiple copies of all of our matching commanders. Clone Machine, when you can play on an infirmary, so we can either play it or we can even ops download it onto the infirmary that we have, and then allows us to report here a copy that's already in play of a unique personnel that is not hologram, android, or dual, as long as we have a personnel with one of those skills and integrity less than 6, and that is super, super easy for Romulans to come up with. Karek unfortunately doesn't qualify, but Kev does. Mangin does not. Mangrin does not. I believe that Navek does not. Yeah, Navek does not. Nefitz does not. But here's the thing, though. Once we download, because the other thing to keep in mind is once we download that medical kit, all of our officers also then have medical, and so like Admiral Mendak, any officer that has integrity less than 6, which is going to be pretty much all of our hitters. No, she doesn't have officer. Terrace has a 6, oddly enough. That's kind of crazy. But Tomalak definitely doesn't. Tomalak's a 4. Saral is, I believe, oh, wow. Saral's a 7? That's crazy talk. But the big one is everybody's favorite universal guy. Where is he? He's supposed to be in here. There he is. Is Tackett. Tackett's medical with integrity of 4. Relam is integrity of 5. We have 2 copies of him. The 2 copies of Admiral Mendak. 2 copies of Tomalak, etc. Tjev is integrity 5 and has medical and biology. So there's so many options for us to be able to have that in play. So when we draw maybe an extra copy of Mendak or Sela or Relam or Taurus or Tomalak, we can play them. And then of course we have our cybernetics expertise so that we can get lower Soon-type androids or Data and Picard into play for free as well, and also get recovered with the second function of cybernetics expertise. They will always be available for us to exchange in a card to get them back. Data and Picard is obviously particularly good with their 6 skills, all of which are extremely useful. They're also a way that we can get civilian into play. along with engineer, in order to get past personal individuality, or persistent individuality. We have been mindful to put plenty of females into the deck. We shoved the Sisters of Duras in for no other reason than the fact that it's 2 females, and they get us geology, and they get us greed with cunning greater than 7. And also VIP in order to, again, get past persistent individuality a little bit better. So according to the statistics of the deck, we have 12 natural females, and then we will always select female with the Soon type androids. So with 15 females in the deck, we should be able to get through female drain combos just over 2 missions. It's not going to be easy, but it should not be impossible. And that's basically the deck. You can do whatever it is that you want to do for dilemmas. Whatever you think is good is what I would recommend. And that's basically the deck. So, yeah, let's maybe do a quick little fishbowl here so you can kind of see it in action. Okay, so we have our game set up now. We have put our dilemma combos out for the opponent. Personally, I feel like having, a dead end on one end, and then just something that the opponent cannot push through in a single attempt on the other is good. We're going to be within the ability to go there and shoot an opponent who would encounter it. So if they want to face it, they are certainly welcome to do so, because we would very easily get in their face. So then that allows us to put 16 dilemmas here in the kind of the bulk area of their 6 missions, and again, you can do whatever you want with that. We've put out 18 dilemmas from a fictional opponent, and so we'll go ahead and face those. One more shuffle. Yeah, okay, that's pretty interesting. So we're going to assume that we go first. What we'll do is we will start with a download of a ship using attention all hands in place of your normal card play. We're going to grab a Derridix. Then we will play Admiral Mendak for free with always a chess game. We will play Karik for free as a universal, and that draws us a card. Oh, we should have just done that first, apparently. Doesn't matter. And then we will, let's just go ahead and defend a homeworld discard. And that'll get us our copy of TLAC. We'll ready room door for, it doesn't really matter. Let's go with condition red to start with, so that we don't have to worry about it getting nullified. That goes to the top of the deck. No, wait, we don't want to do that. My bad. What we want to do first, since it's in the deck, is we go test for weakness. Test for weakness gets us the Earth Outpost here. Then we would ready room door and stick it on top of the deck. We have the ability to go to here. We're going to leave TLAC behind. We have staffing with these 3. and then we can just beam Palteth to commandeer. We dock, Palteth walks, commandeers. That gets us our 5 equipment cards. We can put those on the ship. We can put Palteth back on the ship. We have 2 officers here. We're going to have Mendak be our leader in ops. Talus is our leader on the Daenerys. And then we can, as planned, open fire on Earth Outpost. We get a Riker maneuver. We are at a nebula, so requires a ship at a nebula firing. Not attack bonus +3. We don't care about the shields reduction because it's not returning fire with anything. And so we have 9 plus 6 is 15 plus 4 gets us to 19. That's enough to do a hit on its 16 shields. Flippity flips. Minus 35, minus 30, and if there was anybody on board it, which is almost impossible. So it takes the damage, and then end of turn, we do get to draw 2. We have our end of turn draw, and we do have an uncloaked, undocked, unfazed ship in the neutral zone. Even though it is stopped, stop does not prevent you from being exposed. And so therefore, we do get to draw. Opponent has their turn, we go to our turn. We have a medical officer because Talus has the medical kit. So on the opponent's turn, we can also go ahead and do an I'm a doctor, not a bricklayer. Downloads a geology personnel. We have a few options. I'm not quite sure what's the best one. I haven't really even thought about it. I mean, Nefitz is a good option. Well, actually, the Sisters of Duras count because she has geology, so we'll do that. Download Sisters of Duras to them on the opponent's turn. Then we have our turn 2. We get a free Soon-type android, which gets us a card draw. We get a free Tomalak with always a chess game. We don't have a free Universal. And we still have our card play yet. I think we'll just go ahead and Garaxis for the card play, and that's good enough. We can once again ready room door if we want. We haven't actually downloaded anybody, but we do want the card draws, so we're just gonna go ahead and get a captain. No, let's get our mission debriefing as hidden, and then we do have Tomalak. We can hold off on his for a bit. He can just grab whatever, whenever. That goes to the top of the deck. Then we can open fire on the Earth Outpost again on our turn 2. I like a quantum torpedo here for no other reason than it's just super fun to say fire quantum torpedoes. And now we once again have 9 plus so 15. Now we've got 20 weapons against its 14 shields. We do 2 more flips, and then there's all we need to blow it up. So it's blowed up. And we score the 10 points. And then we can draw our 2 cards. Opponent has their second turn. Maybe they attempt, maybe they don't. It's highly unlikely that they would, given the fact that we've got like all this here. And we do have, yeah, I mean, we don't have Sela, but we could easily get Sela. We can assume that this is maybe like a span 3 mission, and so we would need 12 range to get to it. But anyway, we have our turn, and we can go free Android, which draws us a card. Then we get a free Universal. Then we get a free... let's go with this guy as our always a chess game for free. We have a card play. We're going to use that just to play the clone machine on the infirmary. Did we take our card draw? Yes, we did. We took our card draw, because that's how we got tackled. Cool. Yeah, we're doing that because that way we save Taurus to get us a card draw the next turn. Now we can go ahead and ready room door. We will grab... Let's grab Captain's Log. And to be perfectly honest, I think we need cards, and so we would just protect the Captain's Log. Tomalak can get us either one of these, depending on situation later on if we need to. So now we're just going to grab Mendak, and we are just going to fly back to Covert Installation. We unfortunately never drew a preparation to see what's there. That's okay. We have we have 12 personnel. Garaxis hasn't moved. So with the Garaxis having not moved, I mean, we can just have Tomalak be the command star we need, and then we can just have the Sisters of Duras also be aboard. That'll protect 2 females. It will also protect the Captain's Order download as needed, and then will also provide me... And so we can move to here because the neutral zone gives us +2 range. So we're going to just fly here. We don't have to decide on cloaking just yet. We have this group right here. An Android and a Polteth seem pretty good for just maybe just beaming down to see what's there at the mission. So we're going to have them just beam down and attempt. Founder's Secret. Cool. So we can assume Founder's Secret, Den Event, and then another wall. So they're going to bounce off of that. And we have +5. So we can go 15. Uh, 15 plus 8 is what, 23. 24 with his native ability. 29 with the hand weapons. Ugh, she's terrible. 29 plus 12 is 31. 31 plus 12 is 43. Right. If we just wait another turn, 43, 58, 70 on the nose. We could download the lower decks if we wanted to, and that would allow us to just not have these 3 involved. So that's what we're gonna do. We're just gonna hold off. All right. And then end of turn, we'll draw 2. Oh gosh, of course we draw the preparation. We did get a handshake though, so that's going to be helpful here in a moment. Alright. And we can just cloak the Garaxis for no other reason than we just want to. Turn 3, we're going to assume that the opponent's probably going to like make an attempt somewhere. We can just do with this. So 1, 2, 3, they make an attempt here at this planet. We would hit them with a, I guess, M113. If they had a transporter skill on board a ship, that's what we would target. And then that way we guarantee the setup of a Jolly Chew, which is going to wreck the hell out of them. So they're going to lose 4 people. Comes back to our turn. We need the cards and we don't need this preparation anymore. And so Taurus is going to play for free to draw us a card, and that's probably even better. And then we're not going to do anything else because we do need the card draw at the end of turn, so we can't even do an ops download here, but that's fine. We had to leave the Garaxis uncloaked because of the need to have the neutral zone, which is fine. Okay, so I mean Taurus could also, Terrace can also go. So we will download the lower decks to boost our people. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We don't need 7 going. We want 6 to go. We can protect 2. So 3 would get selected. We protect 2 of them, and then one of them we are going to lose. We're only going to lose like 1 person. And then let's assume that we need science, security, and strength. These Soon type androids are both female. One is, medical science doesn't really matter. We'll have one be VIP and one be civilian. Okay. Yeah, there's the civilian. Okay. And then we can have this group beam down with the hand weapons. The hand weapons and the other equipment cards in order to make sure that I have science and then security there. We would protect Param anyway, just because of his good attributes. So and this group will beam down an attempt. Beat that. There's Denovan. These 3 will get selected for death, and that's perfect. We just protect Param, and we protect whichever one of these idiots was the civilian. So Param gets protected. We protect the VIP one, doesn't matter. The other one discards. And we face the last one. It is the Hanonian Land Eel. We know we have that beat because we've got officer gaining science. We have security. We have strength of 7, 15, 16, 23, 30, 40. Hand weapon boosting. Beat that. Engineer leadership treachery. leadership, engineer, and treachery. We solved the mission. We don't get AMS points because he didn't come with. We do get the 5 from a chess game, so we have the 10, then the 5, and then the 35. So we solve the mission. We can bring everyone along as needed. We're still going to leave his stupid self behind so he can play androids for free. Let's see here, when is that? What's the timing in that again? Also once each turn, so that can be done, I think, once each turn. I think once each turn is during the execute orders phase, if I'm not mistaken. Wow. Brain no worky. Alright. I guess it doesn't even really say. I'm going to guess that that is not an execute orders phase then. That's not an order. Alright, so we can leave him behind. We have a Daenerys that is staffed. We can fly here. We'll dock. We will put... It doesn't matter. We just have any of our officer with a science kit. Now has science in the science lab. We can take a look at this dilemma. Arsenal divided. Ooh, boy. Okay, so we know that it's probably going to be Cloud or V'ger. Cloud or V'ger. All we need to do is just have any leadership survive. We have leadership back here. So we don't even need... To be perfectly honest, we don't need anybody on this particular ship to necessarily survive to solve the mission. We just need to be able to beat... I don't think we can beat a Cloud, period. We have one astrophysics, and that's it. We're not beating a Cloud. Anthro-Dippo computer skill is also going to be like super hard, because I don't think we have any diplomacy whatsoever. So we're not beating any of that nonsense. So let's see if we can beat Arsenal Divided with just universals. So 3, 10, 13, 17, 24, and then lower decks is 26, 28, 30, 32, 34. We'll bring no equipment with us because I don't think we're going to need it. So yeah, our unique personnel are just going to go onto the station with the equipment cards. We have command, staff, command, staff. I think we can even beat it without Paulteth or without Talus. I think we can leave Talus behind. Right? Command, staff, staff. 4, 7, 14, 21, 23, 25, 27, 29. Yeah, these 4 can beat it. So we're going to attempt. They beat the Arsenal Divided. They hit the Cloud. Cool. Ship is damaged and put on a timeout. So what we're going to do... So this is what we're going to do. We're going to just bounce the ship back to hand with the space-time portal. with the people. And now we have something to do that we don't need to worry about doing the handshake necessarily quite yet. So those go away. And then next turn we'll be able to, because we can only do this once each turn, right? Once each turn. So we did that this turn. But we'll just stay in the science lab for right now, and then end of turn we're going to just draw 2 cards, and there's an extra terrace that we don't care about, and a Nephits. So let's do this. We're going to go ahead and play the Tngrnzve. We're going to free play Universal. Free play Universal. Let's free play Universal Nephits. That draws us a card. Then we can go free play Android. And then we can go free play. Let's go free play of Tacket. Let's take a look at this dilemma. It's a V'ger, so we just need Dippo, Anthro, Computer Skill. So we are going to take Garaxis to here. We have no anthropology, like, whatsoever, do we? We have no anthropology in play. Should have played Karek. So Garaxis went 4-7. It needs 12 to get there. It can't get there because I don't have a matching commander, nor do I have that in play anyway. So it truly doesn't matter. We can either just send a ship in to get blown up, but it doesn't matter. Like, we'll just have the Garaxis park here with the Tngrnzve, and it truly doesn't matter. End of turn, we draw 2 cards. He's a duplicate, she's a duplicate. We don't need to play that, but we can. The very next turn, we can just go Karek for free. Universal draws me a card. We can play Saral for free with always a chess game. We would have been able to get this guy back on the previous turn if we'd have been thinking, so then we could play the Soon type Android for free, and then our card play is just to handshake everything else away because it truly doesn't matter. Get it set up just in case our opponent has some kind of trick. If we're worried about like Whale Probe or something like that, then we could have just sent a Tngrnzve in to attempt the mission, just get blown up, and then we'd have the Garaxis go in behind it and sweep up. If our opponent has come into this quadrant, things are a little bit, like, it's going to take us an additional turn, but you know, we might be keeping our opponent like completely under our thumb right now. So they would just be sending a ship into its death for like no reason. And so theoretically on this turn, we would now be able to just beat a V'ger with Anthro Dippo Computer Skill now that we've got our diplomacy back in position. No ships opposing in the neutral zone, we'd score it for the 50 points. And that would be game on like turn 5 or turn 6. Yeah. and we would have been like wrecking our opponent like along the way here. So then they like say they beat that, and then they hit him with a medical crisis. That's not going to be easy since Jolly Chew and M113 would have. We knew this was here, so we'd be eating up biology if we could. Yeah. So, yeah. So that's basically the deck in operation. I will say that the deck's major weakness is if you face any other Romulan opponent. If you face any other Romulan opponent, if they're in the neutral zone with you, then it's just a gigantic, you know, crapshoot of suck. Because you can't shoot them. If an opponent's prepared to shoot you, then you can always retaliate. And so forth. If they're playing with like Romulus Homeworld and they're playing with drones and stuff, you're not going to be able to like, they'll put their drones in here and they'll try to shoot you. That's basically the deck's worst matchup, would be if you faced a Romulan opponent with drone ships, because then they can have their drone ship magically appear here at Vanquish Enemy very quickly, and they might actually try to steal Vanquish Enemy. Of course, the Romulan drone matchup, if you see it coming, you can self-siege your Arsenal Divided. Where did I put it? You can always self-seed an Arsenal Divided to lock them out from doing it. You can always pull Dilemma over here, self-seed it, and have it be like, okay, I'm going to self-seed it at my mission, and you're going to do that at the end, like it's, you know, and you have to, all self-seeds have to be faced last, and so your Arsenal Divided, they would push through all their dilemmas, and then the Arsenal Divided comes up last. So that would protect your Vanquish Enemy. If any opponent seeds Romulus, that's your plan. Because then you can solve the Vanquish Enemy, and then you can solve whichever of these planet missions is open to you without duplication. The other major like bugaboo for the deck would be an opponent with a ref tent and having the Wake of the Borg. What you'd be able to do is scan. You'd be able to commandeer Empok Nor, and you'd be able to scan the first dilemma at Patrol Neutral Zone, and then it's going to bounce. Empok Nor is just going to bounce to your hand, and then that's it. You will get your equipment. You will get to scan that first dilemma. You will not have you'll have the weapons available to you to punch Earth Outpost once, and then after that, you just have to shoot it with your ships, no big deal, and that's it. Like, we're not using Empok Nor in any kind of like serious manner for downloads and reporting and whatever else. There's no whatever. And if they want to burn their first use of it on Empok Nor, that keeps your Romulan Outpost in play for a little bit longer. And then, honestly, you're always going to have the Romulan Outpost, because you're going to be able to just like card play Romulan Outpost and then free play your stuff out. Always a chess game allows you to play your matching commander to your ship, so you don't even need the Romulan Outpost for that. And if they want to keep burning draws to keep you on, to keep your Romulan Outpost off the table, then so be it. It's not that big of a deal. So that's the deck. Hope you enjoyed the video, and Joel on True.